Hey everyone, I've got a good fishing story to tell you, but you're gonna love it even more when it involves giant largemouth bass. We're gonna show it to you in a little known place in North Louisiana where the great big ones live. Glad you were along with us. The next half hour is gonna be a lot of fun. Let's Fish TV is on the air right now. That is a fish. Oh man, look at this.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southwest region every week.
Oh my gosh. Oh, look at that. Woo!
This is Let's Fish.
Hi everyone and welcome into Let's Fish TV. Our story begins here. We are located right on the Arkansas-Louisiana border, way up in the northern corner of Louisiana, near the town of Bastrop, Louisiana. We're coming to you today from Bussey Reservoir. Now the lake is actually just over the berm that you can see in the background. In fact, this dike goes all the way around the lake, so you can't see it from here down in the parking lot, but with the help of a drone, you can see it. So, right now we're going to launch this drone, and as we go up, you're going to be able to see the lake. Now it's got a wonderful 3-lane concrete boat ramp. It's got fishing piers and docks. It's got a little marina area there to protect you from the wind when you launch. It's got boat lanes cut in it, and it is the home to some of the best big bass fishing that the state of Louisiana has to offer. And I'm going to show you why that is the case, the history and background of what got this lake to this point, and give you some tips in case you'd like to come here. While we're doing that, we're going to be taking you around your local region for this week's fishing reports from lakes, rivers, and bays right near you from our expert team of insider reporters. And today we're going to be fishing out of the Dream Machine. This is my brand new Low Stinger 198 fishing boat. This thing has got a huge casting deck. It's a dual console model. Got the best upholstery in the business. Got giant storage everywhere. It's a big, stable, dry, smooth riding boat. Got it rigged out with my Mercury Pro XS 4-stroke outboard engine, the power poles. This thing's got all the toys, all the goodies. I'm looking forward to getting the Low Stinger 198 out onto Bussey Reservoir. So, without further ado, let's get it down the boat ramp. Next time you see me, I'll start explaining the big bass that live here at Bussey. Right now, let's get things started back at the studio and your weekend planner.
Hello everybody, thanks for tuning in again this week. The Lunar Tables are predicting fair game fish activity Saturday and fair activity Sunday. Look for those prime morning hours to begin in the early morning around 4:59 on Saturday and 5:58 on Sunday, with evening action kicking off at 5:24 on Saturday and 6:23 on Sunday. Depending on your local area, expect the sun to rise around 6:40 and set around 8:09. In evenings, we'll feature a moon that is 70% visible. We'll be right back to check all of the current fishing reports from throughout the area. And I'll return with Bassmaster Elite Angler Stetson Blaylock on this week's Ask the Pro feature. Stick with us.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury. Go boldly. LOWRANCE, America's #1 fish finder. Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, Alabama. Get our free fishing guide at orangebeach.com. MotorGuide's Tour Pro with GPS anchor. The tour is back. Blazer, high-performance boats for high-performance anglers.
Oh my word! There's one. Oh, he's around a bush. There, he got loose. There we go. Just a little swimmer. Oh, look at this. Well, there's my first. Oh, if we can get it done. Look at that. Look at the belly on that fish. My first Bussey break bass. They stocked this lake with Florida bass, And look, you can tell how small his mouth is, but yet proportionally how wide his body is and how fat he is. Look at the belly. That's just a little football chunk right there. Well, that's a great way to get it started. Welcome back, everybody. We're at Bussey Break Reservoir in far northern Louisiana, near Bastrop, Louisiana. And we've just come out on a beautiful day, and it's springtime. That's my favorite time to bass fish. And it's just dead calm. The water temperature is rising steadily day by day, and that's making the bass impulsively want to push up to shallower water to get ready for the spawn, and that's what's going on right now. I'm going to be giving you a lot more information about Bussey Break, but I'll tell you that it's 2,200 surface acres. The watercolor here is just beautiful. It's kind of that greenish color, but I can see my spinnerbait down about 2.5 feet in the water, so the clarity here is really good. They can see it a long ways. And the lake is just covered in all kinds of stuff that looks like everything here ought to hold a bass. I mean, it's got bushes, it's got lily pads, it's got a bunch of big tall hardwood trees standing in it, it's got some cypress trees, just loaded with cover, because they literally bulldoze the entire bottom of the lake and then let all that natural vegetation grow up, and now it's flooded, and it's just absolutely prime habitat for a largemouth bass. So we've got to start.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by the American Renaissance Grill. Made right here in America with features such as motorized rotisserie, infrared cooking availability, and LED lighting for those nighttime cookouts. This truly is America's best value in an outdoor kitchen. Now this week we're going to start at Lake Whitney. The full moon this month and late April rains and cold fronts have created a perfect storm, if you will, for topwater fishing on Whitney. The stripers are up shallow. You'll find them around the main lake points, the island, and the bluffs, and you'll also find largemouth bass. Now over at Tawakoni, the hybrid striper bite is on fire, and you'll want to look around the dam for the big main lake humps and look for bait fish on those humps. Put those two things together, you'll find some of those hybrid stripers. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes. Be sure and look us up on Facebook, Lone Star Lakes.
Got him. Oh, he's around a tree. Don't break me off. Don't break me off. It's a good one. Don't break me off. It's a good one. It's right there. Stay on here, buddy. Stay on here, buddy. Right there. There, I got him loose. There we go. Look at this dude. Oh, look at this. Come here, Bussey Break. Come here, Bussey Break. Oh my gosh, look at this. Oh my word. Look at that trophy. Man, I know hundreds of guys that fish their whole life and never catch a bass that big. Wow, what a specimen. Look at the belly on that pre-spawn bass. Man. Okay, I've grabbed my Academy H2O Express scales. We're going to put her on the scale real quick just to see what this big female weighs. Let's see here. 8.2. 8.1, 8.2, something like that. So we got an 8-pounder. We got an 8-pound Bussey Break special, and we're going to put her right back. Oh, wow. Boy, she was ready to go. Who would have thought it? An 8-pound bass right here, and I've just gotten started fishing, really. Haven't fished for maybe 20 minutes or so, so this is incredible. Let me tell you a couple of things about Bussey Break. I mentioned it's a lake that's owned by the International Paper Company. This whole territory around here is all owned by the paper company, but in 2010, as they were using this reservoir in their paper mill, they shut down the paper mill, and so they really had no further business commercial use for the property, so they basically turned it over to the Louisiana Department of Wildlife, and they came in here and did a complete renovation on it. They, again, drained it completely dry, let all the cover and growth grow back up. They put in beautiful docks, a big concrete 3-lane boat ramp, got a separate kayak launching ramp. It's just a beautiful piece of property, and it's very remote up here in the northern part of Louisiana, but they're trying to manage this one as a trophy bass lake, and it looks to me like they're doing a great job. Yes, look at that. I can't believe these fish. I cannot believe. Nailed it. Come on. What are you? It's going left to right hard. There he goes. Another football. Look at that. Got him hooked in the side of the jaw. It's making him act weird. Look at that. I can't believe these fish. I cannot believe how fat these fish are. That's a Strike King Premier Plus spinnerbait with a willow leaf blade, 1 nickel and 1 gold, chartreuse color. And look at that. Can you believe the bellies on these fish? They are just incredible. Wow. He's hooked on my glove. There you go, buddy. And away he goes. Wow. Well, let me show you my technique, what I'm doing, how I'm catching all these fish. See in front of me, there are just bushes everywhere, and the fish really seem to be right up next to the bushes. So what I'm having to do is literally drive the spinnerbait. It's a technique that I've used my whole career. But what I do is actually use my rod tip. This is the new loose KVD rod series. It's that real beautiful maroon color. They come in all different actions and for different specific techniques. This particular one is an all-purpose reaction rod. It's 7-foot medium action, which is critical. I need a little tip on my spinnerbait. I need to be able to drive it. So here's what I'll do. I'll pick a hole and I'll throw it back in that hole like that. Then I'll use my rod tip to drive it through that gap right there, right next to that bush, and then I'll flop it over here, bring it next to this next bush, and then I'll drive it back this direction and bring it down that bush. And I'm literally steering the bait around every bush I can. But the key is you don't throw it at a bush. You pick an open spot back behind a bush somewhere, or a series of bushes, where you can come down 4 or 5 bushes in one cast. Steer your spinnerbait around the targets, and if they're right up next to the bushes, you'll catch one.
Hi everyone, Captain Greg Verm here bringing you this week's Texas Coastal Fishing Report. Hey, let's start right here in Galveston. I tell you, we're on a typical springtime weather pattern. We've had days of 80-degree sunshine and the water temps rise to the mid-70s. The bay snapper spawn, hey, it's in the final stages along the Galveston jetties, and now we're seeing good numbers of speckled trout taking their place. Also, redfish, Spanish mackerel, jacks, and pompano are showing up. Now let's talk over there in Oyster Creek. Hey, when the tides are real high, go look for redfish tight to the grass. Also, an epic number of flounder are being caught along Cole Pass and San Luis Pass. Now, if you want to get out on the Gulf and battle some giant fish, red snapper, amberjack, mahi-mahi, kingfish, cobia, tuna, and more, hey, give me a call. Check out our websites. I'd love to have you aboard. I'm Captain Greg Verm, and I'll see you next week.
Hey, in spite of a little setback from some chilly weather, we do have some really good fishing going on in Oklahoma for crappie, white bass, and bass. A lot of places, a lot of activity. Now, as far as the white bass, the main river channels, especially the upper end of those river systems where you can catch them. A lot of bass are being caught 6 foot of water and less. Go back at least halfway back in the creeks and then start looking for little subtle points or little pockets. Catching them on the spinnerbaits, some lipped crankbaits, and also some soft plastics at this time. Man, the fishing is what we've been waiting for all year. It's springtime fishing in Oklahoma, and you catch them, but you can't catch them if you don't go.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. Power Pole, Total Boat Control. Visit Mississippi. Good times are close by. Low Boats, 50 years of boating craftsmanship. Balls Out, made in the USA. Heavy duty mounts for your fish finders.
Wow. Oh, mercy. There he is. Golly, he's in the bush. No, he's out. Another good one. Holy cow, these are incredible fish at Bussey Break. Look at that dude. Big old fat bellied dude. Come here. Come here. Wow. Oh, mercy. Let me tell you, these fish are pulling up in this shallow water spawning. And that's just another, geez, that's a 6-pound fish easily, right there. Florida strain largemouth, which means they've got a little bitty head and a great big fat wide body. That's how you tell a Florida. A native fish, Louisiana or over in Texas or Arkansas, will have a great big mouth and a big head, and the body will taper down. So that's a Florida. And the thing about these Floridas, the way he goes, is that they are very temperature sensitive. They cannot take cold. So in the spring, they want to find the warmest water they can possibly find. And I've discovered something. I fished those outside edges out there in 7-8 feet of water for a while, and the water temperature is about 2.5 degrees cooler out there in 7 or 8 feet of water than it is up here in 3 feet. The shallow water warms first, and I'm here on a period where we've had 4 or 5 warm days in a row, and every bass is going to suck up into that warmer water because those Floridas, they want that warm water to spawn.
Hey friends, Captain Kevin Broussard here with your Let's Fish Outdoor Report, coming to you from Southwest Louisiana Cajun Paradise Charters. As you can see right here, we're getting into that early summertime pattern. Red fishing is on fire right now. Also lots of speckled trout getting caught. Live shrimp's always best, but I tell you what, Rockport Rattler jig head. On the freshwater side, lots of reports from Lacassine National Wildlife Refuge and even some of the other refuges around here. Bluegill, or the big old chickapin and bluegill, are on the beds. Crickets, worms seems to be the thing right there. I tell you what, get out there on the water, be safe. And this is Captain Kevin Broussard saying, let's fish.
Well, we're on our way back in here at Bussey Break in Louisiana, but I can't leave here without giving you the disclaimer. The Louisiana Wildlife Department has done an excellent job building and managing this fishery for trophy bass. You're looking at some of the ones we caught on this trip, but they don't get to be like this if people stick a fillet knife in them. So while legally you can keep 5 bass and only one of which can be over 16 inches, please release all the bass if you come to Bussey Break. If you've got to keep some fish, you can keep 25 crappie, a lot of them in here, and there was one weighed in just last week before we got here at 3.87 pounds, nearly a 4-pound crappie. And finally, I got to tell you and warn you, if you're coming here, don't expect to catch a bunch of fish. It is a trophy bass lake. You're not going to get many bites. We caught most of the fish you saw on the show in about a 2.5 hour time period, but the whole rest of the time we fished, which was another whole day, we never got another bite. Come with expectations of maybe catching the fish of a lifetime, but you're not going to get many bites. Hang with us, we'll be right back.
Watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter for new fishing videos every day. And download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lose. Feel the difference. Waypoint Customs. Customize your boat your way. Strike King. Tie one on. Glacier Glove. Stay outdoors longer with our gloves, hats, and shades. Fishing Specialties, makers of the premier mount assembly for live sonar.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's get right to your Ask the Pro question for this week. Jerry wants to know, what is the hardest part about being a professional angler? For an answer, we asked Bassmaster Elite Angler Stetson Blaylock.
Well, that's a trick question. There's a lot of things that are tough about this job. Probably the hardest thing for me personally is just being able to mentally overcome the challenges of a bad tournament, or knowing that in order to make a living, you have to succeed on the water as well as off the water for sponsors and that sort of thing. So it's just keeping all that in balance and making sure that everything is right and controlling everything that you can control.
Thanks so much, Stetson, for sharing with us. If you want some help from one of the pros, simply go to letsfishtv.com and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit a question. Now it's time to find out who wins this week's Big Catch of the Week.
We've made it back to the parking lot, and it's time right now for this week's winner in the Big Catch of the Week contest. He's Johnny Mooring of Red Oak, Texas, showing 2 3-pound white bass he caught at Table Rock Lake in Missouri. If you'd like to have a chance to have you and your big fish shown on our show, just go to our website at letsfishtv.com, go down to the bottom of the homepage to the Big Catch of the Week area, follow the instructions there.
Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Next up on the Academy Right Stuff, I want to show you some of the gear we use today. Beginning with a couple of products you can get at Academy, the H2O Express brand of accessories, including the digital fish scale like you saw us weighing that 8-pound plus bass on in this show, are available at Academy, along with all the clothing that we wear, the Magellan fish gear clothing like the pants that you see me wearing right now. Now the rod and reel you saw me catch all those bass on today is the new Lew's KVD lineup of rods and reels. They're species and technique specific rods, both spinning and casting rods. They're that beautiful maroon color designed by Kevin Van Dam himself. They will do a great job of catching all the bass like we caught today and several other species as well. The spinnerbait we used was a Strike King Premier Plus. I really like it because it comes with a built-in trailer hook to catch those short strikes, and it's got beautiful willow leaf and Colorado blades in front of it. Well, for all those folks who were sick and tired of 2020 and couldn't wait to get that year behind us, turn the calendar page to a brand new year of 2021. Well, how's that working out for you so far? Already we've had the worst cold weather of most of our lifetimes, power outages, water outages, vaccine shortages, and who knows what else. So here's my take on all of that. Turning the page on a calendar will simply fix nothing by itself, but your positive attitude can. Life is like that. It has its ups and its downs and it's bad and it's good. What we all need to do is adjust to that, make a conscious choice that we're going to have a good attitude anyway, and maybe, just maybe, that'll rub off on everyone else around us. I hope you enjoyed my first ever trip to the brand new Bussey Break Reservoir in northern Louisiana. We caught some great big bass. We'll see you next week. Until then, I'm Barry Stokes saying, let's fish, everybody. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.